What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are on a fantastic day today. And today we have the Gemini Jets June 2021 tier list rankings for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Welcome back to Tier List Thursday. Only a week intermission this time for Tier List Thursday. So excited to be back to the tier list already. If you guys did not get a chance to see the return to tier list with the NG Models May 2021 tier list rankings, be sure to go check out that video, especially if you're a new viewer, so you can figure out how these tier lists work. But with all that being said, welcome back to Tier List Thursday, hashtag Tier List Thursday. Very, very excited to be back to the tier list on a consistent basis. And if you are wondering, yes, I am filming this on the same day right after I filmed last week's, but hey, we're all good, individualizing this, kind of spreading it out to make some really quality content for you guys. So with all that being said, we're not going to waste too much time. This is the Gemini Jets June 2021 release set. They ended up skipping May. They just ended up saying on Instagram that it was April and May releases for the American 900 and all those. So that's what ended up happening with that. So we just went straight into June. And we had some really, really unique models. I remember I was stalking Gemini Jets' website. Very, very sick in bed. But we're here, everybody. So let's get it rolling with the Gemini Jets June 2021 releases, as we can see right here. We had some really interesting ones, really nice miscellaneous set for sure in the 1 to 400 scale. So let's take a look at the full list right here. Thanks to Citrus Aviation having the release videos and everybody else that did. I just picked Citrus's. But regardless, we have the full 1 to 400 set right here. It wasn't on the website anymore as of recording, so that's why. And I'll have to do the same thing for July since that is gone as well. But we do have the June 2021 set listed right here on the web or on Citrus's video that was on the Gemini Jets website. And they're looking really, really nice. A ton of great miscellaneous models, and we'll dive in one by one to each and every model. But with all that being said, we will begin with the releases, and we will begin not with those. Sorry about that. When I pull them up in Tier Maker, I think that I have them open on the desktop for the photos of them, but actually that is incorrect because I had to do it twice. But anyways, beginning with our first model of June 2021, one that I did decide to buy, a really interesting one for sure, and a really interesting story that goes with the mold. We have the Antonov 124 for international cargo transporter. I think it's just Antonov Airlines. Really, really cool aircraft. It's been a long time since Gemini Jets has done one in this yellow and blue scheme. And as you guys know, I've actually seen this one at Tulsa International Airport on July 18th, 2019. So you guys already know that I'm getting it. Not the exact tail number. I think the one I saw was Uniform Romeo 82008, I think. I also saw one in that older blue colors. The other airline that flies these a lot to the United States, I need to figure out what tail number that was. But nevertheless, here is the Antonov 124. Looks really nice from this perspective, but there's a lot more that goes into it. They obviously did that all blue one late last year, and I kind of did want to get this one, but I was kind of glad I held out for this one because this is the one that's a little bit more sentimental to me. But actually, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit more because of how blurry that is. Now, it's kind of weird going from NG's side perspective to Gemini Jets' drone/helicopter perspective. It's kind of hard to get full encompassing of the full models. But nevertheless, we will do our absolute best, beginning with the nose cone right here. Really, really big nose, but a really, really cool one for sure. And then they have the outline of where it would open, so that's pretty cool. We got the cockpit windows and the windshield wipers in the Antonov 124-100M titles right here. You got the yellow, blue, and lighter blue shades right here. International cargo transport along with everything else that's throughout right here. Got this yellow arrow, which is pretty cool, along with the engines. One of the things about the mold, as you guys can kind of see from this picture, it's going to be much more obvious in photos coming up, but this is literally, like, I'm not even kidding, probably a centimeter from touching the ground. It's almost as bad as the CFMs on the Airbus narrow bodies. Really disappointing that we found this out when the mold came into fruition. I mean, the only thing that really changed from the last time they did Antonovs was this aerial right here, and then all the stuff on top right here, a little bit more detail. But then this also came with it, which was bad, not good, very unfortunate. It is the cradle mold, which is, I think it's okay. It's not too bad. Unfortunate. This side's a little bit better, but this side right here, really, really bad. Both sides are really bad. You got this back door right here. The rest of the model is really nice outside of that. The registration, like I said, Uniform Romeo 82027. Got the blue and yellow coming through the back here, and then you got the Antonov tail right here, and the red tips on the wings and the horizontal stabilizers. Now, the big takeaway here is to take a look at, here's the real life aircraft, by the way. It looks really nice. You know, wings are not like literally about to touch the ground. Well, let's take a look at the waffle collectibles picture, like I talked about in the last tier list. This is not the side that's bad. I don't. Okay, here we go. Yes. I wish I could enlarge that like as an actual picture, but I think this will be a good alternative. I guess it was that one. The engine. No, it wasn't the wingtip. I'm sorry. The engine was about to touch the ground. But that's still too low for an Antonov. It should not be that low regardless. Just look at how close the engines are. But as you can see through the pictures as I kind of go back and forth here, it's literally so crooked. It's not good. Not good. Not a good look on GJ. Not very pleasant. I know Aviation 18 definitely got at it in his unboxing I remember watching. Really unfortunate to see GJ. They've done this so many times over the years. They turn what was an absolutely awesome mold into just simple mistakes like that. I just don't get it. But you know, it's Gemini Jets for you. I mean, and that was this is kind of just the theme. Is just simple mistakes like this throughout Gemini Jets' career, of course. And hopefully they'll continue to get better. But at least delivery's nice and the model's pretty decent. Just one flaw like that, it's just makes you scratch your head. It's just like, why are we here right now? But anyways, the model's still pretty good. The mold did suffer pretty bad getting a 14. That's not a 19, that's a 14. The color is very good though with 17, and then the details come out for 13.5, so it barely almost makes the surface of a perfect model. But with those wings, I can't quite give it perfect. Just not quite there. Still a really good model, though, and a really great one to add to anybody's collection, most certainly. As we'll move into our next model, I think I have to be all the way zoomed out, I guess. That's my assumption. Yes. The British Airways Embraer ERJ-170 on behalf of City Flyer. Now, British Airways retired these, I think, in late 2020, and then Gemini added it to the future release, So Gemini continuing that trend of when things get retired, they end up doing the model after it's been requested for decades in some cases, just like this one. Aviation 18 can attest to that. And this is still a really nice model, don't get me wrong. I'm just sure that the British collectors would have really enjoyed this when the model was active. These aircraft actually made their way over to American Eagle on the behalf of Envoy Air, which has been really nice to see that they did find a new home, but nevertheless, still kind of sad that British Airways did choose to retire these. But nevertheless, here's the model itself. It's a really nice model. We'll take a full in-depth look here. Starting up here with the cockpit, looks really good. And then the landing gear kind of threw me for a loop, but it's still pretty good, not bad. Still happy with how it turned out. I think it looks good. Got the windshield wipers as well, and then the YG, that's the last two letters of the prefix. Got the R1 door on the right side, and L1 would be on the other side. Got the British Airways, I always botch it bad when I try to say it. Captain Dark, I believe, livery, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's how you say it. But nevertheless, if I botched it or completely missed it, I apologize. Got the British Airways titles right here and the emblem right here. That looks really nice. Got the engines. Not too much wing flex at all, if any, which looks great. I'm so glad that they at least have it good on the 170. Hopefully they'll get it right on future 175 if they do choose to do any. Registration of Golf Lima Charlie Yankee Golf. So neat registration there for sure. I want to say that somebody mentioned that the tail number had something to do with London City Airport. I believe that LCY may be the prefix of London City, so that was really cool. I got the R2 door, Embraer 170 titles, and the beautiful British Airways tail. A very special place in my heart and many's, of course, pardon me. Here's the real-life aircraft. It turned out really, really well. Here is the aircraft in real life. I'll be eager to see if they add these aerials on top at some point. I would expect them to do as such at some point. But really, really nice model. 16.5 for the mold, a 17 for the color, and 13.5 for details. Brings it out to 94%. So we do get our first perfect of the day. Well done, Gemini Jets. Rest in peace to the British Airways Embraer 170. And hopeful for more British Airways regional jets to come soon, even though there's only, I think the 190 is the only thing left. But still, really, really cool. Next on, we're on to a low-cost Australian carrier. This is the Rex Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the current colors for Rex. Rex is a low-cost carrier, like I said, in Australia. They fly around Sydney, Melbourne, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Brisbane, that sort of region. I'm not the biggest expert on Australia, but I'm pretty sure those are the three biggest cities. Taking a look at this 737, we know the story with the Gemini Jets 737-800 mold. Okay is probably the best that one would give it, especially just starting with the nose and the nose landing gear door. It looks like the NG mold went to a pencil sharpener, guys. I mean, it's just really unfortunate to see what we have right here. We know the story on that. Not a great nose. Hopefully they'll get a new mold at some point. The livery was done really well in this model. You got the orange trim on the R1 door and also the L doors, which is really cool. R hard is in the country titles right here as well. Got all these passenger doors right here, and then you got the 2 emergency exits that look great as well. Have the engines here, the CFM56s. Decent amount of wing flex. Doesn't look as bad as some of the other models, but still there, obviously. And then the winglets still, I just don't think they're quite the right shape, but that's to be expected. The engine slightly big as well, and the wing flex. Those are the main takeaways from this mold. And also kind of these crooked aerials, you know. I don't know why the holes are so big, but nevertheless. We got the Rex tiles back here. You got the navy blue and then the lighter orange. Really cool scheme, I feel like. Got the Wi-Fi box, and then, of course, the tail. This is Victor Hotel Romeo Quebec Charlie. Really, really nice plane outside of the mold. I would be eager to see if NG does choose to do this one at some point. Here's the aircraft itself. Really nice photo. This is actually Sydney's crosswind runway, I believe, if I'm thinking right. And this one turned out really well, so great job to John Yu for posting this for us. Really, really nice livery. And like we talked about in the last video for any new viewers, Gemini Jets also uses a ton of Photoshop. So if you're wondering why these colors are so vibrant, this photo particularly is late in the day, so the colors are going to come out a little bit more dark. And along with that, Gemini uses a crazy amount of Photoshop. But still a really nice model. Mold comes out to a 13. I think that's about the best we could do for that. A 16.5 for the color and a 13 for the detail. 85%. That's about the best the 737 can do. I don't think I've had a Gemini 737 score over 89. I think that's the highest that it's got. Still a good model, just unfortunate that the mold is in the place that it is. And this goes for a lot of models with Gemini Jets. They really usually have done a good job with the liveries ever since they got the American Airlines stuff figured out. It's just the mold. It's just the mold. And hopefully they'll get it together one day. But for the moment, we got to work with what we got. So Rex 737, nice model for any Australian collectors. And really, really nice model, most certainly. Moving on to another one that's going to be very popular in the States, and also one that I got. We have the SkyWest Airlines Bombardier Acer J-700 house livery. So these SkyWest Acer J-700s have been around in the house livery for at least about 5 years or so, I believe. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these flew mainly with Delta for quite a long time, from that 2015 to 2019 range, somewhere in there, I believe. And then American Eagle actually took over these around middle of 2019. Was the first time I started seeing them in the SkyWest colors for American, and they've been with them ever since. SkyWest operates a lot of American Acer J-700s or in the American colors, and also their house liveries also fly for American, like I said. They have quite a few of them. 604 SK, 603 or 5, one of those. I think, I want to say it's 547 EV is another one. There was another oddball tail number. I think it's a 700. It's something like that. But they have quite a few of these. So if you're looking for an American Acer J-700 that operates for SkyWest, or just an American Acer J-700 in at all, I know some people have used this for PSA examples. It's definitely a great model to have just a substitute in that realm. So let's get started with this aircraft. For the most part, it's really good, as we'll zoom in. Now, we had our suspicions with the landing gear and the horizontal stabilizers and everything. Landing gear were fixed, but the horizontal stabilizers are still pretty crooked, which is unfortunate, but at least they're halfway there to fixing the full problem from the CRJ-900s we had earlier this year. Starting with the cockpit windows, along with the windshield wipers, really, really nice job. I always like the proportions. It looks really good. Got the R1 and L1 doors up here in the SkyWest colors. Now, initially, these looked really bright, and we'll talk about it more in depth here in a moment. Overall, I think they're slightly bright, but it's not near as bad as the initial impression would make you think. Moving on to the wing over here, the blue starts with the gray line as well, and here's the wing with the winglet. Now, this was kind of a big talking point, how bad this came out right here. I think it was just one model, it may have been all of them though, so kind of unfortunate, but this is Gemini, unfortunately. We have the exit door right here, along with this interesting kind of escape pad. Really, really interesting design. Most of them have, you know, the lines around them. This one kind of just goes straight down. Really, really light blue on the registration, even though it looks better in other pictures. But this is November 604 Sierra Kilo. And then we have the American flag right here, followed by the 2 engines right here in the SkyWest titles on the tail. Now, it's a really cool house livery. You know, it's really simple, but I think it looks really nice. As we'll take a look at in the real-life picture, this picture is kind of a good mix of every lighting situation. It's much darker overall. However, we do have some good news. First and foremost, as you can see, there's quite a bit of variation here. Like this one's a little bit lighter, but then this one's kind of darker, but then this one's a little bit in the middle, you know, and then one's like, see, this used to be in Delta livery before it got repainted. But then you got some that are like, most of the time it leans darker, and there's numerous reviews if you guys want to check them out. I did buy this model, of course, so mine will be coming soon. But and then here's a solid picture from that waffle perspective. It's not completely light, but it's not like as dark as like this one right here. This is a really good counterpart. So it's definitely slightly light. And then here's a couple of different model pictures. Here's one from Southwest 252, yes. As you can tell, it's a little bit darker, but then there comes up one from JJ Skippy that's a little bit lighter. And, you know, everybody uses different Photoshop techniques in their thumbnails and everything. So, but I still think that it looks pretty solid. I think it's slightly light. And here's the airplane shop picture. It's kind of just one of those that you just kind of just have to, you know, I don't have it in person yet, so I'm kind of just going off an overall evaluation. It's definitely not perfect, but it's pretty solid. So I thought that it was deserving of a 15 for the mold because of the horizontal stabilizers, the 15 for the color. I thought that, pardon me, sorry. I thought that was a good range where it alludes to it's not too light, but it's not perfect. So that's the situation there. And a 13 for the details, 86%. I definitely probably would have been in that perfect range with a better color, but between that and the mold, just not quite, but still a pretty good model, and I think that they did a good job on it. So semi-well done Gemini Jets on another good model. Very excited to add to the collection, and a great job from Gemini Jets. Next up, we're on to a really cool retro model, the TWA Boeing 757-200 with the Rolls-Royce engines, I believe. Now, these aircraft ended up going on to Delta, which is really cool. I actually think that American actually had them for a little bit, then they went to Delta. But TWA is a really cool airline, of course, had a lot, you know, when I think of retro U.S. carriers, I think TWA, Pan Am, Eastern, even the old American Airlines, all of those, and Air Cal, PSA, the list goes on. There was hundreds of them, literally. But, you know, this just screams America. This is an icon. I'm sure the retro collectors were super happy by this. I'm sorry, these actually may be the Plaid and Whitney engines. Like, I thought I had just a glance and they looked kind of like Rolls-Royce, but I think they're Plaid and Whitney. So I apologize about that. But anyways, here we go with the models. So we got the nose cone. It's a little off, but it's pretty good. One of Gemini's best molds, in my opinion. Got the landing gear door and the doors right here. Really cool globe here for the Trans World Airways. It doesn't say Airways, it's Trans World. Got the R2 and L2 doors right here, antennas, engines, Plaid and Whitney's. Once again, my apologies. Wings looking really nice. This is an interesting black stripe. I didn't notice that the first time. Really cool. And the colors came out really nice. They did a great job. This November 725 Tango Whiskey, which should still be flying for Delta. The one that comes to my head is 703, of course, because the model and just really cool one. 705 as well as the Sky Team livery. Really, really nice job by Gemini. I mean, they did a great job. Taking a look. Now, obviously, as you can tell, there's a lot of Photoshop here, so that's why they look much brighter. But the colors were done nicely. And this was, I think, Miami, if I remember. Yes, Miami from Goodhard. Hopefully I said that right. Great photo right there. And a really, really nice model for any retro collector. 16.5 for the mold, 17 for the color, and 13.5 for the details. 94%. Another really, really nice model. Really great job. Really excited to see more of these retro models, and we'll see even more of them come up through the months. But they did a really good job with that one. So well done. Gemini Jets, or actually, sorry, that scored perfect, didn't it? My bad. 16.5 for mold, 17 for color, 13.5 for details, 94%. I don't know what it is, and we've noticed this through the April releases, this release, and then the upcoming releases, we'll see. Gemini Jets, for whatever reason, does such a good job on some of these retro planes in terms of delivery, but then on some of the newer ones, they just fall off. I don't know what the deal is. Like the American, that Sky West, I'll just take a look at the list just to see if there was any others particularly that I can name off the top of my head. That was NG. Yeah, the Aeroflot A321 Neo from July was another one that made me scratch my head a little bit. And making sure I didn't miss any. Even the Southwest Lone Star looked a little odd, but we'll talk about that in probably a month or so. But nevertheless, still a really, really nice model. Great job, Gemini, and at least you guys are doing some things right on the regular. Very, very nice. Next up, we are on to, I think I did not zoom out all the way, the UPS McDonald Doubles MD-11. As we know, we had the FedEx in the previous release from Gemini. Now we have the UPS. Super excited to see more of these generic usual planes, and you know, we really enjoy the refresh every couple of years of getting these planes again. Of course, I got mine last year from the company store, so not a need for me, but still a really cool plane. Let's get into the full details and encompass this thing. So you got the nose cone right here, very unique of the MD-11. I just swear, all these pictures continue. The angle just literally, it turns like the right triangle. It literally used to be a 30, a 60, 90. Now, then it went to a 45, 45. Now it's a 60, 90. So, anyways, great details right here. You got the worldwide services. You got the engines right here as well. You got the wingtips. They look really good, along with the black and yellow that fades into the UPS colors. UPS tail, all the engines and everything, great aerials throughout, the beacon painted on these aerials, along with the exit door, the grays here. Very glad that I got reset my camera this time, sorry, but great details throughout here, really, really nice. Well done to Gemini on getting the UPS really good. Great mold and great liveries, turning into great models. I mean, NG does it every day, so why could, how did I have this tab open? Random tab, but anyways, turns into great models most certainly. So taking a look, here's the real life picture. It's a UPS MD-11. We love them. They're really, really nice. Very simple aircraft to do. And going back over to the ranking, 17 for the mold, 17 for the color, and the 14 for the details, 96%. One of Gemini's better models, honestly, of this year. They did really good. So 3 and 3, we have 3 left. Where will they fall? Let's find out. Next in line, we have the Wiz Air Airbus A320 in their current livery. I believe this is the first Wiz Air model that Gemini's done, which is really cool. And this is a great miscellaneous set. We had some stuff from Europe, some stuff from Australia, some stuff from the United States, some retro stuff even. So this was really, really good. But taking a look at this aircraft, it's a nice aircraft most certainly. I got the nose cone right here. We know the deal with Gemini Jets is Airbus narrowbody molds, especially with CFMs. Luckily, this is an IAE example. But the nose cone and landing gears and aerials just aren't the best. Got the Wiz Air colors throughout. I think they did a pretty good job. I think that they're slightly light, maybe. I took a look at the waffle picture and numerous pictures online. I think they're slightly light. Kind of that same evaluation with the Sky West. I don't think it's quite that dramatic, but I think they may be slightly bright. WizAir.com here on the engines. Really cool details throughout. No registration on the wing, just these, all of the normal markings, of course. Here's the transition into the pink back here. I still think they use too much Photoshop, man. I seriously do. Way too much. WizAir.com, you got the, turn it into this navy color and then back to the pink. This is Hotel Alpha Lima Mike Charlie. Really, really nice plane. You know, these Airbus narrow bodies aren't easy by any means to get perfect for Gemini with the mold, but this was a pretty good example. Here's the aircraft in real life. As you can see, much darker here, but we have to take into account the Photoshop along with numerous lighting angles. And this is kind of what we get right here. So still looking really, really nice. It did get a pretty solid score. Well, outside the mold, of course, we have to consider that. But 16.5 for the colors and 13 for the details. The detail I brought off because the Airbus narrow bodies just don't seem as detailed to me, to be honest. That could be arguable, but I still don't feel like they're just the best. So that was kind of the situation there. And if you're wondering about this overlap, I had all the papers stacked up. I printed off like 10 of these rubrics and just started writing on them. So that's why you'll see multiple circles as we go throughout here. But 85% is not bad for an A320. Still a good model. Highly recommended to any collector in Europe. Really nice plane and really, really good job by Gemini Jets. Into some military to finish this off today. We have the French Air Force Airbus A330-200 MRTT. Now, NG did this one as well. I would highly recommend that version. I think it came out in June as well, sometime there. But still really nice model. We'll evaluate the full model itself. The cockpit windows, I like the trim. They did a good job with that. Yellow trim throughout the doors here and some nice details throughout. Their MRTTs are pretty detailed. After having my hands on the Aviation 400, my standards are high for that. It still looks pretty good. I wouldn't be against getting one sometime just to see how it is. Here's the wings right here, and then I got corrected. These are not missiles. I apologize. These are actually the refueler pod things, so that's really cool. I got the logo for the French Air Force right here. Got the wingtips right here, and it doesn't look like the wing flex is miserable, but definitely noticeable. Numerous antennas throughout. Got the third door back here and the fourth door. You got the tail. Very simple gray livery. It's a cool plane. Cool for the French Air Force. Let me see if I can get a picture here for us. And there's kind of some evaluations on the Wiz, kind of numerous perspectives on that. It looks really nice. Now, the color kind of interested me because I think that it came out a little too light. And I took a look at the waffle photo, and that's kind of what I evaluated. It looks like it came out a little light. I was going to say if there was more examples down there, but unfortunately there's not. So, still a nice model, though. I think they did a good job with it. 15 for the mold, 15.5 for the color, and 14 for the detail. I did bump up the detail a little bit because I think the typo on the UPS, I think I was so used to doing NGs, so I think I meant 14 there, so I apologize. Sorry, 13.5. On these military models, I do give them 14 because they are a little bit more detailed with some more aerials and everything. So this came out to an 89%, just right there on the bridge of good. Quite a few models were in that realm, but this is Gemini Jets. This is kind of the Gemini Jets NG retrospective. You have a couple models that are right there from being good, but then NG's there every time regardless, usually outside of a couple QC flaws. So still a really nice model though, and they did a great job with it. Not bad for Gemini standard on an A330. And last but certainly not least, we have the Australian Air Force, RAAF. I'm not sure what the R stands for, so I apologize. P8 Poseidon. Really, really cool plane. This is Gemini's third or fourth to this point. Now, I do want to make a note that the color is going to look really, I guess, military camo-ish. I don't even know what to call it. From this photo, I don't know why the Photoshop makes this light gray color turn into this, but it literally does. But still really nice mold for the most part. I would say that it is better than the, what would the other mold be? The normal 737s, which is pretty interesting. But here's the nose cone that looks pretty good. And then you got the landing gear down here. Got numerous aerials. I really want to try one of these soon. Hopefully I'll be able to. I'm waiting for the one that I saw was actually the Jacksonville Air Force Base one. I would really like to get a replica of that, but I would be happy to have any of those P8s in America. Got the engines right here. They look really nice. And just all the detail really makes up for the mold not being literally perfect. But I think it's really nice. No wing flex on this for the most part. They look really nice. And then transitioning over so many aerials. They did a great job with that. Alpha 47003. And then I'm assuming this is probably their country or not mascot. This is not college football. I'm sorry. Country's symbol, just like Oklahoma has the bison. That looks like some sort of bird. Sorry that I don't have the full name, but I kind of just want to show this full page of all. See, as you can tell, it's a lighter gray, and then look at the airplane shot photo. That looks so much better than this. So I don't know what the Photoshop does, but it just tanks it. And then even the CGI looks so much better. But nevertheless, still a super nice model, pardon me. It came out with a great score. 14 for the mold. I think I should have gave it higher. I'm actually going to give it closer to a 15. 15.5 for the color, and I would even bring that up a little bit. Now 14 for the details. I think that was a bad score. I think I was on the latter half, and I kind of just overlooked it. I think this model does go in the perfect section. I do feel like it came out really nice. Sure, the nose may not be the best in a couple of things, but I think the aerials, all the details, and the really nice job on delivery overall, for the most part, will get it a bump up. So there is the Gemini Jets June 2021 releases, tier list rankings, pardon me. Another really, really nice set. I feel like they did a really good job with the whole release set here. There's a couple models in there like the Sky West and the Wiz Air and even the Rex that are just a little ways away from being great models. But for the most part, really, really nice job. And I feel like, once again, Gemini Jets is doing their work with what they have. You know, British Airways, TWA, UPS, the P8 were the best models to take away from this. P8's probably right there. It's probably at that 90% literally. I mean, it could go either way on a coin flip. But, I mean, if I had the thing in real life, I would be able to tell you the full thoughts. But from evaluating all these pictures, I thought it would be worth getting the benefit and not. And especially with some of these models coming up, I'll just take a look at Gemini July just to see. Gemini July was a little bit more consistent than June. And then August was pretty gosh darn good as well. There's only a couple models that didn't do great, but for the most part, really, really nice job. Let me know which ones you guys got in the comment section, what you guys thought about these models. Really hope you guys enjoyed this tier list Thursday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry guys, battery died right as I was finishing up, but regardless, let me know if you guys would like to see potentially some more companies. I've really thought a lot about potentially JC Wings, Phoenix, even Aero Classics. I don't want to overload tier list if that makes any sense, but if you guys would like to see that kind of stuff, that would be a bunch of fun to do. So, but I don't want to overwhelm myself as well. So maybe we'll do a poll on that or something, but definitely Gemini Jets and NG models I definitely think are fun and necessary. So with all that being said, everybody, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's tier list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to check out the full playlist. There's a ton of tier lists that we've done, and we're just chipping away at all these releases, catching back up. Hashtag tier list Thursday. Very, very glad that we are back to the tier list, and hopefully a lot of content to come. We're probably in October at this point when this is coming out, so or maybe late September, I'm not sure, but hope you guys are all doing very well, and thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And with all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love, and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.